Autonomous trucks, what do you think of the word? Do you think it's real? Do y'all think it's going to be possible? Do y'all think that's something that we're going to see in our lifetime? Or you haven't even given any thought into it? But I'm telling you, it is right around the corner. It is knocking on the door of the trucking industry. If you are not prepared for it, then prepare to start flipping burgers in your future. Because I'm telling you, these mega carriers out here, these trucking companies, they are looking a way to replace you, the lazy, the stinky, the person, the truck driver that wants to be at home all the time. They are looking for a way to replace you. And if you don't start planning for your future, then you better start planning to work at a fast food restaurant. With technology advancing so rapidly before our eyes and companies looking to cut costs, they are looking to get rid of the unskilled drivers that complain about working, cries about needing to sleep, and get sick from time to time, because I'm telling you, that day is closer than you think. I used to believe that we still needed at least 20 years before autonomous trucks started to become a real thing. That it was something only in the foreseeable future could be achieved, a futuristic technology that was decades away. I don't think like that anymore, not from all the articles that I have read and seeing how much money is being invested in autonomous trucks. There are still so many questions that need to be answered with fully autonomous trucks, but in the meantime, there are corporations like Aurora and Kodiak Robotics that are trying to be the first to invent the fully autonomous truck. The only thing that they are worried about at this time is that they are able to get the truck without a driver from point A to point B in a safe manner. This is some of the things that Kodiak Robotics is saying on their website. Why autonomous trucking? Driving 11 hours a day is both demanding and uncertain. That's part of why the trucking industry faces tremendous difficulties attracting and retaining drivers. But amid ever-increasing consumer demands, trucking has to move more freight than ever, which that is a total lie, total bogus. Especially during these times. I mean, I don't even know why they say that, but they just want to attract more investors to their company so they can keep putting more money into the autonomous industry, and then it keeps going. Our autonomous trucking solution, Kodiak Catalyst, is designed specifically to address the industry's biggest challenge, enabling you to move freight far more safely and efficiently, scale your operations, and increase revenue and profit. That's all they care about, is increasing revenue and profit to the people that buy this type of technology. Safer roads. Every year there are over 400,000 truck-related accidents on U.S. highways. We know our technology can help bring that number down. The Kodiak driver never speeds, gets distracted or drowsy, and performs far more predictably than human-driven vehicles, staying largely in the right lane and never weaving in and out of traffic. So basically saying, y'all truck drivers out there don't know how to drive, and this is a way safer option for mega carriers to invest their money in, instead of putting their money on the truck driver that's always on their phone, distracted driving, watching Netflix, etc., and keep saying, more efficient fleets. Kodiak trucks are able to drive nearly 24/7, stopping only to refuel, receive self-diagnosis maintenance, and pick up new loads. With reduced idle time and fewer out-of-route miles, you'll move goods farther and faster using much less fuel. This efficiency leads to increased asset utilization, more reliable deliveries, and less spoilage. So they basically can run these trucks 24/7 non-stop. They don't have to, I guess, abide by the 11-hour driving time that we humans do. Better quality of life. Autonomous technology doesn't eliminate drivers, it complements them. Self-driving operations help ease the driver shortages by enabling you to attract and retain great employees, offering them critical roles that allow them to stay close to home while leveraging their experience to drive in most complicated environments. Better quality of life, I'm not quite sure what it's talking about here, but in other words, when there is harsh harsh weather inclinations outside, that's when they're going to decide to put you on these trucks because this autonomous truck is not going to be able to drive in snow, rain, maybe rain, yeah, but icy roads, stuff like that, where it can make a human judgment on the road itself, where you are able to decide and tell if there's black eyes, stuff like that. That's when they're gonna put you on the driver's seat. Other than that, they're probably gonna keep you somewhere in the driver's lounge, just on standby. Probably send you home, But don't even think you're gonna be getting paid decent if you're gonna be on standby 24/7, waiting for your turn to start driving that truck. And it continues. Kodiak Driver, the world's most capable autonomous driver. Our modular system integrates into any fleet, including all Class 8 platforms, purpose-built to handle long-haul routes. The Kodiak Driver brings safer and more efficient operations to your fleet. So that basically saying is way better than any human driver. The Kodiak Driver is more efficient, and that's some of the things that it says on their website. Kodiak Robotics, if y'all want to look into it. But it is here, guys, and it's right around the corner. If you are in your early 20s or 30s, better start thinking and planning about your future in the trucking industry. There are companies dumping millions upon millions into autonomous trucking technology. There are certain companies that want to be the first one to hit this technological gold rush. Let's say you are the one that invents this technology. Besides a few minor hiccups that can be worked out as time progresses, do you know how rich you can become? Do you have any idea how many trucks are currently on the road that you could implement this software into? Do you even have a slight idea of how many trucking companies are in the industry? I believe this type of technology will be like the ELDs, the electronic login device, meaning there will be several companies that will provide this service. Some are better than others, but more expensive. It is a billion-dollar industry in itself, and companies are not afraid to invest millions of dollars in it. Besides, it is not their money. It is their investors' money. Wake up, folks. Technology in the trucking industry just keeps advancing at an alarming rate. I don't even think most drivers have any idea of what's going on. Like, yeah, maybe we've seen a few trucks here and there with all these cameras and sensors on them, but never stop and think, one day there won't be any driver in that truck. Like I said, there are still many questions that need to be answered. I'm sure you're thinking about some of them right now. But the fact is, it is only a matter of time before the government requires every new truck that is being built, installed with, or added with this type of technology in some way, shape, or form. Just like they did with the DPF systems, e-logs, electric vehicles pretty soon, and autonomous trucks will soon follow in the near future. A lot of companies are already moving towards EV trucks. Many have pledged by 2040 to be at least 50% EVs in their entire fleet, but by then most companies will already be EVs. My main concern is that the power grids are not set up for EV trucks to be charging every night at these truck stops across the nation. California can't even handle EV cars charging during certain periods in the summer, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. If you're in the later stages of your life, like in the 40 plus in age, I wouldn't worry too much about it. In order for something like this to be in full effect, the infrastructure as a whole and how the trucking industry operates will have to change from the ground up. That will take at least 1 or 2 decades. By then, more than likely you'll be retired. But if you're younger like me, early 30s, this is something that's going to potentially affect your future. The first type of drivers that these carriers are going to look forward to replacing by autonomous trucks are the local truck drivers. Local drivers are going to be the first ones to go. It is much easier to manage a local autonomous truck compared to an over-the-road that is still in the early stages. Autonomous trucking doing long haul will eventually come, but that's going to be later, possibly 3 to 4 decades ahead. Autonomous trucks are mainly going to affect company drivers. Like I said, mega carriers will be looking to cut costs and make the most profit. If they can buy an autonomous truck at a price of $200,000 to $300,000 and pay it off within 4 to 5 years, compared to paying a truck driver $60 to $88K, plus truck payments till that driver quits or gets fired, and then you still got downtime and drivers complaining and crying about they so tired and all this stuff. Autonomous trucks will not complain one bit about running 24/7. So carriers do not care about you. You are just a number. You are a liability to them. You are costing them money. They are looking for a way to get rid of you. Owner-operators will be able to buy time by being independent contractors, but eventually, either autonomous trucks or robots are going to replace everyone in the industry. It is just a matter of time. So the question becomes, what are you going to do about it? For starters, you need to make yourself more valuable than other drivers. You need to be more skilled than the average truck driver. You are going to need more talent than just being able to drive a truck. So how can you increase your market value in the trucking industry? You are going to have to learn the skills that the other drivers don't want to do. And yes, that is going to require you to do more work than just drive a truck. It is going to involve you using your brain for once in your trucking career. There are these things called endorsements that you might have heard of once but never paid attention to them. You need to start thinking about getting your endorsements. You need to start acquiring them and start collecting them like your life depends on it. If you don't have any endorsements, I highly suggest that you start to look into them. They are the only thing that is going to increase your market value as a truck driver. That's how you build your skills, and that's what's going to separate you from the competition. That's what carriers are going to be looking for when hiring drivers for positions that autonomous trucks cannot fill. You're going to have to do what an autonomous truck cannot do, and that's use intelligence mixed with emotions. It's okay to have none or maybe one endorsement, but if you want to be financially safe, have job securement, move around, especially in times like this during hard times, you are going to have to learn more than one skill. The days where having a plain, naked CDL meant something are long gone. It's going to be even worse for you if you have some type of restrictions on it. You need to start reading, studying, and learning about the different types of endorsement you can get. They are not even that hard to obtain. All the tests are done on a computer. So it's not like you're going to have to go out and manually demonstrate how each individual endorsement works. It's all done on a computer, multiple choice at that. The three main endorsements that are relatively easy to get are the N, T, H. N is for tankers, T is for triple doubles, and H is for hazmat. You get the X endorsement if you get tankers and hazmat at the same time. A lot of these companies out here that are hard to get into, that nobody wants to quit because they got it so good there, require their drivers to have all three endorsements. Even though some companies will say that they'll help you obtain them, but if you're in charge of hiring a new driver and you're looking at two different job applications, one of them has one endorsement and the other one has all three, which one are you going to go with? The answer is simple. You need to acquire new skills that is going to give you the slight edge against the competition. You have to start thinking about getting into the specialized field in the trucking industry. Doing drive-in and reefer will not cut it anymore in the near future. Some might argue that it's not even worth it right now. Imagine when the widespread of autonomous trucks begins, where is that going to leave you? We've seen what happens to drivers that only have one skill, give 15 to 20 years of their life to a company, the company falls on hard times, and now the company is getting rid of the low-skilled workers. Even though you have been there for many years, you were one of the first people to go. Why is that? The answer is simple. You only had one skill. All you know how to do is drive a truck. What's next for you? What do you do if that happens to you? Look for another similar job? What if nobody's hiring? What if all the jobs that you want are full? What will you do? Resort to moving to another city, another state? Do you even have enough money to survive? How long will the money last? 1 week, a month, 3 at most? More than likely, it's just not you alone having to go through the financial stress. How were you able to maintain a roof over their heads, food on the table for the people that have entrusted you with that duty? If you're lucky, you can find a job quickly. But what if they don't pay as much? Now you're going to have to start downgrading your lifestyle. People with skills can be adjusted in companies. Maybe move to a different division in the same company, or worse come to worse, just move to a different region but in the same company. Can even potentially move up to a managerial position. If you are equipped with the right skills and mindset, People with skills are needed and they will put their talents to use. No point in having knowledge that's not going to be beneficial to you. What kind of skills do you have that gives you an edge over the other drivers? If the answer is none, time is ticking. Time will continue to move forward whether you're prepared for it or not. And if I were you, I'll be looking into making myself as valuable as possible as a truck driver in the industry if you want to keep on driving a truck. You better start planning for your future because that's where you're going to live at.